Yep, nice and easy. We're done with that though. Isn't the jump rope? Yeah. Whenever I skip rope, I can't use these wireless headphones. They fall right out of my ears. So of course, it would be helpful if I could get the rope itself not to fall out of my hands. Finish my protein shake, then we'll hit this. New name, who this? Yes, sir. For those of you who don't know me, my name is BullMuscle. For those of you who know me as Beer Battered Ag, yes, I'm going through a rebrand. This seems like a pretty good time to talk about that, so let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm a die-hard Aggie.
The eyes of Texas are upon you. That is the song they sing so well. Sounds like hell! So goodbye to Texas University. We're gonna beat you all to chigga-roo-ga-rim, rock tough, real stuff, Texas A&M. Goodbye.
We get a little bit more all. So why can't I click all? Oh, yeah, there it goes. Nice. Alright, let's do one more bronze bar. If you adopt the mindset, and this is a quote from Jacob Fisker of Early Retirement Extreme, if you know that guy, 10 points to you. But it's a quote that I find unbelievably poignant in today's era. Spending money represents a failure to solve one's problems by smarter means. I'm gonna repeat that. Spending money represents a failure to solve one's problems by smarter means. That's painful. But yes, my friends, pure protein, as theirs makes no difference, from raw egg whites. It's disgusting. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome on in. It is cold, it is Saturday, it is time to get some squats on. And the lighting appears to be working today. Thing has a mind of its own. I don't understand electrics. Hey, thanks for the first test. Welcome on in. Good to see you. It's cold in here today. So, based off the desired max of 450, I should be doing 65 to 70% today, which between 3. Did I do the math on that right? Yeah, it should be between 295 and 315. So we're gonna go with 315 because I know I can 8 rep that with no real issues. So that's where we're gonna start. No worry, I'm sure it'll come off and all that, but I should probably test. Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure that was working. So we'll do a set, another warm-up set, just a few reps here, 225, shouldn't be too hard. Then we'll go to, I think we'll do 315 today. We'll see how it feels. If it doesn't feel right, we'll do it. We'll go down weight. Not bad. We got 4 sets of it. We'll start at 315, see how it feels. We will put the belt on for this. That's the smart thing to do. So you got 4x8 with this, 3x8 with wides, 3x8 fronts. Shouldn't be too bad. Hey, Marhez, welcome on in. I'm doing all right. It's cold in here today. It's like 3, maybe 4 degrees C. So it's like upper 30s in here. It's a lot colder than I'm used to. But we'll make it happen. Now, for those of you who don't quite understand why I'm putting plates here, these are just 10-pound bumper plates. What they do is they give my heel about 3/4 of an inch. It's a little bit more than 1 centimeter up. And what that does, actually it's closer to 2 centimeters. What that does is it helps allow me to get a little bit better compensation for ankle flexion. And seems to keep my back a little bit more vertical, force me to use my quads a bit more. So, I like it. I think today we're going to start off with little, let's see, actually, yeah, the temperature right now is, in my town, it is at 42. But it's going to warm up today. It's going to get into the 50s at least. We're going to start off with a visit from our good friend Uncle Ted. We'll be playing Cat Scratch Fever. Gotta respect Ted Nugent. No drugs, not really any alcohol, just 100% mental instability. I mean, hell, even just, I'll wait for the ad to finish. Like, look at this right here. This is a man who decided to make his cover look like that. It's just him staring very angrily at the camera. This guy did not do drugs. He was just fucking batshit. Ted Nugent's fucking wild. Hating 21, thoughts on the Israel and Palestine conflict. I mean, I'll actually give them, but I'm gonna do a set first because otherwise I'll be here talking for the next 15 minutes and not actually get any work done. So, stand by, I'll help with that one. Let's go. Fucking lightweight, baby. Oh yeah. Again, the cat scratch fever. Nice. All right. So, oh boy. Cher, morning. Good to see you. So, do you want my brutal answer on Israel and Palestine? Remember what industry I work in. I'm on Team Lockheed Martin. I give him cat scratch fever. Hell yeah, Team Lockheed Martin, baby. No, okay. I'm not trying to trivialize what is a painful and intense conflict over there. That's my somewhat tongue-in-cheek answer. Although, I will say, those conflicts are good for business. There's a Megadeth song about that. Actually, there's an entire Megadeth album about that. Killing is my business, and business is good. Your head looks bigger. All right, maybe it's the sweatshirt. That said, I actually will. I would say, is it wrong to support the pro-LGBT side? Absolutely not. Okay, so here's my serious answer. Israel has a hand in creating the problem it now faces, particularly far-right Israeli politicians like Netanyahu. That being said, Palestine is going to suffer for the crimes of Hamas, who went into Israel and killed over 1,000 people, many of which were women and children. Hamas hides behind its own population because it isn't willing to take on a conventional fight with the Israelis. Hamas is playing fuck around, and Israel is now telling them how to find out. So, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Hamas knows they're so far outmatched by the Israelis, the only thing that keeps them operating is funding from a regime that oppresses women, minorities, and gays in Iran. So, if you're LGBT and you're one of these queers for Palestine folks, I've got some fucking questions. Because if you went over to live in the West Bank or to live in Gaza, you get fucking stoned or thrown off a building. Validation Swipe Bot, that's a name. Thanks for the first time chat. Morning, Night Owl Paul. So, every conflict is bad, people die and suffer. That is true. But as far as, I'll put it this way, look, if you believe that homosexuals, or trans people, or bi people are deserving of treatment as equal humans, you can't support Hamas because Hamas condemns most LGBT people to death or public beatings. So Israel, that doesn't necessarily justify everything Israel does, but I cannot see how anybody who is LGBT support Hamas. It's disgusting. This is a fitness stream, but I got asked a question and I'm not going to say no to answering it. You're discussing two separate topics. Okay. Unfortunately, this is a bit of a misnomer. 60+% of people in Gaza support Hamas and Hamas's actions. Hamas's actions include going into Israel and killing innocent people. Again, I don't support the way Israel is going about the conflict, but I do understand it. They don't let gays serve No, I'm not. You're putting words in my mouth. I'm not justifying what Israel is doing, but you cannot. If you're a homosexual and you are supporting Hamas in this conflict, why? I'm very worried about what's happening in Ukraine, very close to my country, and we had a few incidents so far. I saw that, but thankfully for you, I believe you said you were Polish. Y'all have learned from history very well. At this point, I'm convinced Poland has the best military in the entire continent of Europe, and that's something you as a Pole should be very proud of. Y'all have beefed up your military, so that way, if the Germans or the Russians want to fuck around, they're going to get their asses beat. Frankly, I think Poland could destroy Russia. I think Poland's got an extremely good army. They've invested in a lot of really cutting-edge military equipment, and it's going to pay off for them should, and I'm really hoping it doesn't, but should war break out. Supporting Hamas does not equal supporting Palestine. That's as may be, but there are people who support Hamas right now. That's the problem. And 60% of people in Gaza support Hamas. There's more to humanity than sexuality. You definitely not destroy Russia. I would not put it past the Poles. Now, obviously, if the war gets unconventional, in other words, were nuclear weapons to be used, that's an entirely different question. But the Polish are the only ones who have taken their NATO, in Europe, really, they're the only ones who have taken their NATO contributions seriously. Frankly, it took this conflict in Ukraine for the Germans to finally pull their heads out of their ass and start reinvesting in their military. Same with the French and to a lesser extent the British. Because it was very easy until this war in Ukraine. It was very easy for the Europeans to bury their heads up their own asses and think, oh, Daddy America will protect us. Install and mount a decent defense, sure, but destroy. Do not underestimate the Polish army. It's not, if Poland were thrust into a war, it would not be a repeat of 1939, I can promise you that. The Polish are far more capable now than they ever have been. And again, if you are Polish, take fucking pride in that. Y'all have a great military. I don't know what China's doing to Xinjiang is the peaceful solution, and that's the funniest one to me. The people who are sitting there, all too often who support Palestine as the oppressed minority, fucking crickets when it comes to what's happening at the Uyghurs in China. And you know why? It's because China's communist. Because in most of these people's eyes, the socialist and communist countries can never do any wrong. And that is disgusting too. Personally, I really don't know what the solution is in Israel and in Gaza. I do support a two-state solution, but Hamas cannot be part of that Palestinian state. Hamas's stated goal is to destroy Israel. That's not realistic. First off, even if you believe Israel has no belonging where they are, which is, I think, a bit silly at this point, it's entirely impractical. Israel isn't going to go away, whether or not anybody likes it. So any organization with the explicit goal to destroy Israel is not going to succeed. And this has been demonstrated 1946, 1948, 1967, 1973, and on and on and on. So you have to find people in Palestine who are willing to work to become an independent country. Now, what Israel needs to do immediately is stop with these fucking settlements in the West Bank. You're violating borders that you know you can violate, but you really shouldn't be, because all you're doing is creating backlash. All you're doing is making peace even harder. The Israeli settlers need to stop. That is true. Anyway, that's my opinion. As far as I'm concerned, the one biggest thing I will put regarding this is that it's not the United States' problem. Israel is perfectly capable of handling its own affairs, and they shouldn't be begging for Daddy USA to bail them out. Much like the Europeans shouldn't be asking us to bail them out in Ukraine either. Ukraine arrested a new wave of mobilization, about 500,000 people. Ukrainians working with me got letters to the military, they need to go to the army. Yeah. Here's another one. This is a bit unpopular. This is a little bit unpopular too. I am of the mindset that Ukraine is never going to get Crimea back. Even if they did militarily, it would be an absolute basket case for them to govern, because Crimea has never been majority Ukrainian. At least it hasn't been in the last, decades. It's not realistically feasible. Same thing with the Donbass. The Donbass is about 50% Ukrainian, about 50% Russian. So even if Ukraine retakes those lands, there are going to be a lot of Russians in those lands that perpetually vote against the interests of Kiev. Ukraine's fastest route to prosperity is to end the war as quickly as possible and enter the EU as quickly as possible. Not even NATO. NATO, there's pros and cons to it, but entering the EU is a must. That is do or die for Ukraine. Getting into the EU guarantees an economic market for export, and it guarantees an easy pathway for importation of higher class goods. What you're doing is you're tying your economic engine to the European market instead of the Russian one, and frankly, the European market is far more developed. It has nothing to do, it is nothing, it's ultimately, it's about business, it's about money, it's about finance. I have a lot less interest in the military side of things. Believe it or not, even though, I mean, y'all know what I do for a living, but even despite that, it's about business. Isn't Ukraine too corrupt and unlawful to be part of the EU? Yes. At the moment, Ukraine does have a corruption problem. Now, we'll give credit to Zelensky. Zelensky is trying to address it, but Zelensky still has a lot of work to do. That being said, let's not pretend like every country that got into the EU before Ukraine was perfect and not corrupt. Here's looking at you, Greece. Here's looking at you, Romania. Here's looking at you, Hungary. These are countries that are in the EU, but have had corruption issues in the past. The EU has to look to fast-track Ukraine in. And there will be some growing pains, because Ukraine has the best soil in perhaps all of Europe for growing food, which means everything Ukraine does naturally is going to undercut other European farmers. They're going to have to figure out a compromise here, and some people are going to be losers of that deal. But there's too much on the table for the EU to dilly-dally in getting Ukraine in. The EU has got to get Ukraine into its bloc. You know that lead poll in 1939, a lot of tensions before. Can you nuke Iran before they get nukes? No comment there. That's a little bit too close to my job. We had some tensions with them about this. Poland, so that's the thing, right? Exactly. Poland isn't the only one that has this problem. But what's funny is that Poland's complaints about Ukrainian agriculture coming in now are very similar to French, German, and Spanish complaints when Poland joined the EU 15, 20, 25 years ago. That's the thing people don't realize. Another one people don't realize is this bullshit narrative of, oh, boo-hoo, NATO stole all of my friends on the Russian side. That's not true either. The Baltics and Poland basically blackmailed the Clinton administration into getting them into NATO by fucking around with the 1996 election. Nobody likes to talk about that. Seriously, we were stonewalling Poland's entry to NATO until 1996, at which point Poland said, okay, we're going to actively support Bob Dole for president, and boom, Clinton instantly got him in. We have good apples, number one in apple export. What do you think of China looking at the U.S. being stretched thin with Ukraine and Israel wars, trying funny business with Taiwan next year and letting them start a war without rallying the flag? Effect to an easy second term. So China-Taiwan's an entirely different situation. I think the people that are comparing Ukraine to Taiwan are a bit off base. They are two separate scenarios. That being said, I need to do another set before I get called, so stand by, y'all. That's a great question. I'm going to talk about that. That means Clinton was corrupt. No, Clinton was a politically savvy operator. Any politician would have done the same thing. That's like, and not to mention, it made sense for Poland to join NATO. I don't blame Poland for wanting to join NATO, given that Poland's history was getting run over by the Nazis and then getting run over by the Soviets. Poland deserves to be in NATO, and I understand why Poland would want to be in NATO. It's a security guarantee for a country that's biggest problem historically has been security, because they've always gotten into fights with their bigger neighbors. So I do not blame the Polish at all for pulling that stunt, but let's be very clear. It wasn't just America saying, oh, we want to bully Russia, so we're putting Poland in. That's not how it worked. Bill Clinton was he was an above average president, but I'm convinced a second Bush 41 term would have been a better option for the country. All right, good morning, Nightmare Thief. Good to see you. Let me go ahead and knock out another set here. Easy. That feels pretty good. I think I'm comfortable with sticking to 315 today. Yeah. You're pushing both rollers on it. With the third one, or the conflict there. Exactly. Poland has learned from history. They're arming the fuck up, which is smart. No, really, if I were any other European power, I would not want to fight the Poles. Seriously, that's my hot take. The strongest army in Europe right now is Poland. Buzzing Ranger, how's the bulk going? It's doing pretty solid. Yeah, the bulk is bulk's going all right. It's a bit dirtier than I wish it had been. Weighed in at 222.8 this morning. Not ideal, but did he get more tanned recently? No. I think it's just the lighting. The lighting's working today. It wasn't working yesterday, which is why I look like this. Well, I mean, right, defining what is the best army requires some assumption on who has the best soldiers that are tactically equipped to do the job, have the experience to do the job. I think in this regard, the Poles are very, very, very ready to take on anyone who wants to fuck around. Never thought if the World Wars, Balkan War conflict, and completely grew up, I'm going to experience another European conflict in my lifetime. Doesn't surprise me. The other issue, the true issue with Russia is that Putin's not going to live forever. I don't think he has a succession plan. That could mean inner turmoil for the Russian Federation, when Putin passes away. Now, Putin may live for another 20 years, so I could be wrong on this, but ever since the COVID pandemic, he's been fairly reclusive. And of course, I should not judge the Russians for having an older politician in office because we have a living fossil as our president in Joe Biden. Snake, good to see you. It is sad. I agree, it is sad. Up 5 and still lost to Clemson. Yeah. Kentucky, y'all are almost an A&M tier level of pain. All right, I'm warm. We can throw off the shirt there. So we got 2 more sets of 8 on low bar. We got wide stance. Oh, just felt my back pop. Leftovers for breakfast. There's still a lot of dressing left over. Yeah. Hit it, dodge. Well, I think Russians are a brave nation. They're afraid of their government. The amount of protests that have existed in Russia show that there is an opposition, but the opposition is being stonewalled. The tale of what has happened to Russia since the fall of the Soviet Union is a sad one. In the United States, I think we did not do a very good job of helping Russia transition, right? If Western Europe required the Marshall Plan after 12 years of experiencing fascism, Russia was going to need something equivalent to that after experiencing 60 years of arguably a worse system, communism. Russia needed help to transition to a capitalist economy, and I think by and large, the West in the 90s did not give that to the Russians, and that was at our own expense. I also think frankly, that Boris Yeltsin was perhaps one of the worst leaders Russia could have possibly elected. He was weak. He didn't stand up to the oligarchs in his country. He was a drunk. He meant well, but frankly, they'd have been better keeping Gorbachev in 1992. Don't remind me, but Ohio State also got exposed that night. Did Missouri really beat them? Wow. SEC. No, I'm not doing that. Not even ironically, I'm not even doing that. Fuck the SEC. Any conference loyalty Aggies had went out the fucking window the second they let the Orange School in. Losing 14-3 to a team everybody expected you to steam. Wow, they only put up 3 points against the Missouri team? Wow. That's pretty bad. All right. Granted, I'm sure a lot of players opted out in the same way that a lot of A&M players opted out, so I can't judge too harshly. But, I mean, A&M's a mess. Ohio State, y'all should be better than that. All right. Okay. All right. We got 2 more sets on this. OSU had 7 players opt out. Oh, that's cute. We had 25. Seven starters. Okay, we were already on our third quarterback by the time the game started, and on the first play, our third string quarterback broke his arm. So we played the entire game with a 4th-string quarterback. In general, if you're having to evaluate a game based on how the performance of the 4th-string quarterback was, the season has not gone well for you. What's an Aggie? You know a lot about history. You can't talk about history with a lot of Americans. Oh yeah, our education system's dog shit. I live in one of the states with one of the worst education systems. What is an Aggie? An Aggie, that's A-G-G-I-E, it's old-time slang for a farmer. And Aggie is also the term for students and former students of one Texas A&M University. Y'all seen this logo pop up a lot on my stream, this A&M. That's because I am a Texas A&M graduated 2017. And my football team makes me mad most of the time. That's more or less my connection to the university at this point. All right. Let me focus. I got another step to do here. Not bad. That was 315 pounds. Is my depth looking good? Am I going below parallel? Do you have CBH? Went to university in a different state. Nice. Dry from heating eyes. Hey, Copperside, good to see you. Just saying, Google that. Thank you. Hard to see the depth from this angle. You're right. I'll move you guys to the side angle for the final set. I'm gonna do a separator pulse first. All right. That's pretty good. Ball, cancel staff, you on a flake Hail Mary, double bluegrass miracle. Silent Zach, how long is rest time? Really just kind of depends on how I'm feeling. Because I'm streaming to you guys and talking a lot, it takes longer for me to recover than if I was just listening to music and sitting. It's kind of an unfortunate side effect of streaming, but I consider that to be worth it. So usually for these sets, a couple of minutes a piece, which is longer than probably I should be resting. I'm going at fairly high intensity here. I mean, I'm 8 repping 315. That's 75-ish%, which is actually above what I should be doing today, but I didn't feel like sitting at 295 again. I just gotta figure out what song I want to play for the 4th set. I'm gonna put you guys over here because I'm gonna want a depth check. I'm gonna want a form check, okay? So for those of you, maybe Silent Zach, Mirages, if you guys would be willing, I would very much appreciate getting a form check here. Oh, that's a big pop. So we're just gonna go for 8 here. We're gonna go flat feet, no lift, no quad drive. Really work that posterior chain, work those glutes, work those hamstrings. Relative to super squats, this is still extremely easy, but relative to that, it's easy, but relative to, a lot of workouts, it's about normal to hard. So, just relax for a moment, get myself in the right headspace, and we're gonna do this. Oh. Lightweight. We got this. All right, move you guys over. Well, you know what? Why not? Let's throw in an extra 5 pounds, just for funsies. Here we go. Yeah, baby. Easy. Goodbye, 2023. Come on. Nice. And calves. Ugh. Nice. Yo, how's the depth? I feel like that went well, but I don't know that for a fact. We'll go for a wide squat next. All right. Two, 235. Okay. So let's try 240 then. Mouth is very dry. Oh, nice and warm at least. Two 235. So the lower tilt, can you specify? Do you mean pelvic tilt? Do you mean knees? What do you mean by lower? Lower back? I'm struggling to understand what lower tilt means here. The T looks like an I. I don't know what that means. we got our variations. So this is 240. The rack tilted. Oh, that's fine. If the rack moves around, that's irrelevant. I'm talking about my form. It was only 320, so it wasn't that heavy. But definitely wasn't easy either. So for reference, I was supposed to be doing no more than 70% of my PR today. Now my PR is only 415, so 70% of that is only 290. Instead I was doing 315, which is good. So if we're doing 315, divide that by 0.7, that's a 450 pound squat, which would be amazing if I could put that up as a max. I'd be thrilled. Anyway, let's go ahead and do the next set. Now we're going to be doing wide grip squat. So for those of you who don't know, a wide stance squat. A wide stance squat is really simple. It's a squat. Your back will be a bit higher, or your back will be a bit more vertical. You're going to be doing it with a high bar position, and your stance will be a lot wider. Wedgie King 200. Well, that's on brand. Tips for better wedgies. Do lots of glute exercises so you have a bigger ass to wedge it in? I don't know. That's a weird question. I mean, it's on brand, but it's still kind of strange to make that the first thing you ask someone in your as a first-time chat. Again, it's on brand. I respect that. You know what you're about, but like, that's a bit odd. I ain't no king. I am but a humble nuclear engineer. We're gonna move you back just a touch. So you guys will notice, right, typically I'm right about here, right? This time I have a wider stance and I have a high bar position. There we go. You're ready to pulse that? Actually, no, I'm gonna wait. We'll do another one after. Second. Yeah, just 8s. Not too crazy, just 8. Today we're doing 8s. Appreciate that. It felt pretty easy. You carry on. This is supposed to be 6 to 8 in terms of RPE. So I should have between 2 and 4 more reps left in the tank. And this feels about right for that. I remember when Giolito was on the Nats. I wonder if the learners have sold him yet. Pretty on brand for a bull. If you insist. I have much more progress to make. I think I got a 500-pound deadlift in me at the end of this bulk. That's my goal. All right, another set. 2, 3. Probably should have rested for a bit longer there. Goats and roads are napping this winter. Come on. Hey, Thundergun, good to see you. Hey, that's going all right? All right, we got one more set of wide squats. Then we got front squats. Then we got, oh boy, we got lunges for 4x12 today. And then Bulgarians. Oh, this is gonna be torture. I love it. What are we doing lunges at anyhow? Oh, Jesus Christ. Ah, that's not gonna be fun. All right, we'll do 200 to start with front squats. Belgian squats. All right, we're doing wide stance squats right now. We got one more. And we got 3x8 on the fronts. Then we got lunges and Bulgarians. We're gonna throw in dumbbell pullovers, which is not a leg exercise, but what I found that it does, much like the Raider pulls I've been doing, is that it expands the rib cage. Helps you make your upper body look bigger. The whole point, right, with squats is you're getting crushed underweight, at least your body weight or more most of the time. So when that's happening, you're breathing in, you're forcing oxygen into your rib cage. People keep blowing up my Discord. I'm like, bro, I'm live right now. Stop asking. I ain't gonna be able to talk right now. So, we'll do that next. Okay. See. Oh god, yeah. I can feel that in my legs. So let's see, that's 10, 18, 22, 24. Excuse me. Hang on one second. What's going on out there? Oh, okay. Alright. Give me just 1 second, y'all. I gotta use the bathroom. The benefits of owning property, I can do whatever the hell I want. Miasma, good to see you. Thanks for the lurk, appreciate it. Rainbow, thank you very much for the 6-month sub streak. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's go for a little Mean Streak by Van Halen. Actually, no. Let's go with Unchained. It's going pretty well there, my furry friend. Then see, we repped 315, and for the last one, just for funsies, I repped 320. I'm gonna have to review that on the tape, make sure my form was good. It felt like I was going low enough. It felt like I was pretty assured on all this. If I look back and my form's solid, that gives me a lot of confidence to stick around at 315. I may even try 325 next week for 5 sets, which is gonna be a bitch, but all right, let's do this. We get a set of 8 here. This is 240 pounds. Man, audience is strong today. Oh, that reminds me, y'all. I should mention this. For those of you who are wondering, I am doing a truth or drink stream tonight. It is going to be a gift to my Discord and the active participants therein. So if you want to be part of that, you can ask me any question you want within reason. Obviously, certain things about my job I cannot talk about under any circumstances. But apart from that, everything's fair game. The questions can be as wild or out there as you want, and I can answer them completely unfiltered. That is going to be on my Discord tonight. So make sure you're on my Discord for that, and you voted for the Truth or Drink stream. The way it works is I either have to tell the truth or I gotta take a drink. So you can see where that fun comes out. Other items, tomorrow at 9 a.m., for those of you who enjoy my old school RuneScape content, I'm getting my 99 in smithing. I'm gonna get my smithing cape. We're gonna have a big old 99 party. So it's gonna be loads and loads of fun. And I hope, I hope I have a bunch of y'all show up for that. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'm really hoping that happens. So that's that. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do another set now. Strong like bull. It's funny, I think strength is one of the few skills in real life where I think my real life level is probably higher than my RuneScape level. I'm guessing my IRL strength level is somewhere around 80, if I had to take a guess. Because I think I'm stronger than most people, but I'm by no means professional grade strength. And there are some definite holes in my game. I'm not quite as good at the Olympic lifts. My snatch in particular leaves a lot to be desired because I just don't do snatch because I don't fucking like it. To me, a snatch does not offer much marginal benefit over a full body press or a clean and jerk. And it seems to me to be a much easier way to get injured. So I tend to stay away from snatches. I should probably incorporate more snatches into my workout, but I just don't fucking like them, and I'm doing okay without doing snatches, so. Alright, just one thing to share, you probably don't care. I'm sure I was happy about this. So I did my body composition analysis, and I'm 2.5 less of fat and gained 3 pounds. I'm also good for you. No, I absolutely do care. I love it. Love it, love it, love it when people share their successes and their setbacks in here. Because we're all human and we can try and learn from each other's failures, but we can also celebrate each other's successes. Thank you very much for sharing, actually. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. That's a lot of talking. Let me catch my breath and we're going to do a set. Let's go. Should be easy. Strong like bull. Come on, 2 more. Easy. One for the rocker. Blue-eyed murder in a size 5 dress. Nothing stays the same, unchained. And you hit the ground running chain. Oh, Woo-hoo! Take a look at this. Hey, man, that suit is you. All right, next set. I don't think we're quite ready for 215 on front squats. I'd like to think we are, but I know that's probably not true. So I'm gonna go down weight. We got 3 sets. I'm gonna start at 200. If it feels easy, I might go up to 205. Don't think I'm gonna go up a lot higher than that for fronts. I don't want to be loafing, but at the same time either. You know, it's RPE 6 to 8. It's not supposed to be sets that leave me gasping for breath, wishing I was amongst the dead. So throw on a 25-pound bumper. That's 175 or 10-pound bumper, 95, a 2.5-pound plate, that's 200. And we go to one side, we must do on the other. 175, 95, 200. So we're doing front squats here. The front squat is really useful. We're working that quad drive. Get those Tom Platt style quads. No retreat, no surrender. Good to see you. Your knees cave in at the bottom. Why is your stance so wide? Have you been missing for the last like 15 minutes? We're doing wide stance squats. It's kind of the point. 20 reps. We're not doing 20 rep squats. We're doing 8s today. Yeah. My knees shouldn't be caving in at the bottom, but it's hard not to get a little bit of valgus when you're doing a stance that wide. I still should be working on keeping my knees in line with my toes. So thank you for saying that. I'll go look at tape on that one. I still, that's not good. I should be doing wide. My knees should remain in the path of the rest of my legs. They shouldn't be coming in. So that's good. That's good feedback. I appreciate that. But yeah. No retreat. I'm not doing super squats right now. Fuck that. Hard pass. So we're gonna do front squats here. Calves normally carry that weight when squatting. Denver, cue the roller coaster tycoon me, and if you know, you know. Yeah, the ride never ends. I know. Dude, I play roller coaster tycoon fairly often. It's a great game. I don't care what age you are. If you can't enjoy roller coaster tycoon, you just don't like having fun. I'll wait for this. That way you can actually see what it is that I'm doing. So we're gonna go for 200 here, just for a set of 8. Strong leg pull, come on. Hey, thanks for the follow. Not too bad. I felt fairly easy. I wouldn't call that an RPE 8. Call that probably an RPE 6 or 7. I'm gonna give 205 a try. See how it feels. We got some pullovers to do. Actually, yeah, we'll do a second set of pullovers after this. Gambling ASMRR 6270. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on in. Ball of the committee. Is if the commies need to QB until they are tank for next year. Russell Wilson's available, maybe. I don't care. Bam. really just don't give a shit about the NFL. Since Dan Campbell's an Aggie, I guess I'll root for the Lions in the playoffs, but I'm not going to watch them. All right. Mirages, thank you very much for coming in. Thank you very much for hanging out, for talking, for being active. Hope to see you around. Cheers. So we got 2 more sets of fronts. We got Bulgarians, 2 more sets of pullovers, wide squats, or not wide squats, lunges, and then I'll throw in some abs. Abs seems like a reasonably good idea today. So one of the things, it's hard to tell because I got the belt on. I probably don't need to do all of these with the belt. In fact, you know what? I'll do this set without a belt. We'll see how it goes. Shouldn't be too hard. One thing it may be difficult to see while I'm doing all of these exercises is with squats, you have got to engage your core. If you are squatting and your abs are not rock hard and even a little bit sore by the end of your squat day, you're not doing them right. Yo, Gus1, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on in, welcome to the bullpen. But abs are a critical component of a correct squat form. Why? Well, by necessity, the laws of physics dictate that there will be something of a load on your lower back when you squat. Now, obviously, your mission is to keep, when you're squatting, you want to keep a straight spine. You do not want to be doing this. If you do this, that's a good way to get hurt. If you squat, you want a straight spine. If your spine is straight, it's going to require core strength to keep it straight. If your core gives out, your back will round. If your back rounds, you turn to squatting to a good morning, and that's an extremely dangerous thing to do. If you feel that happen, stop squatting immediately, let the weight come down on the safeties, and exit. Do not attempt to finish the rep. If you do that, there's a one-way ticket to a back injury. Don't do that. So there's my advice right there. All right. No, do this one without a belt. Now, why do I use a belt? A belt, you can use you use your abs to brace against the belt to help keep your spine straight, which is very useful if you're going for high weight stuff, low rep stuff. But that's a preference. Okay. Let's do this. Strong like bull. Here we go. Not bad. I think I'll go back to using a belt. It feels safer. It's a psychology thing. It didn't feel bad. Come on. Nice. All right. Yeah. Okay, so these fronts, I'm feeling my quads. That's good. Start looking like Tom Platz if we keep at it. It's got what it takes. So tell me why can't this be love? I wanna know why can't this be? All right. So I've got, let's see, you got 10 more sets to go. One more set of fronts, one more set of pullovers, 4 sets of lunges, 4 sets of Bulgarians. I think it's time for a little bit of Megadeth. A little Symphony of Destruction. All right. We have 8 measly reps left, and then we're done with our squats and the squat variations for the day. Then we're on the bodybuilding work. That's what the lunges and all that are. It's bodybuilding work, which is good. I got shit brewing. I have to go inside and relieve myself before too long here. Never mind that. We're gonna get at least this set done. Yeah, after this we'll do pullover. Let's hear about the Bulgarian. Is that like a style? Yes. So you'll see exactly what a Bulgarian is here. The Bulgarian squat is, it's a cousin of the pistol squat, and I guess it's in between kind of a lunge. I guess it's in between a split squat and a pistol squat, and they suck and they're really good for your quads. That's the you'll see what they are in just a moment. I got to do one more set of this first though. 205. Let's go. gets metal corrodes. You try to before the hands go. Hold on. Nice. All right, so we're gonna do Bulgarians next. You'll see them. I've seen Bulgarians on raised plates and deficits. We're just doing a standard with the floor. We don't need to go any crazier than that. Just like the Pied Piper, led rats through the streets, dance like marionettes, swaying to the symphony. Just like the Pied Piper, led rats through the streets, we dance like marionettes, swaying to the symphony, swaying to the symphony of destruction. Okay, so there's 200, 205, 205. We've done pullovers. And what do we have for, what did we do for one, or Bulgarians last time? We're doing 40 dumbbells. I think we're gonna stick with that at first. So we set our dumbbells to 40 pounds a pop. That's about 18 kilos, maybe 17 kilos. All right, so the Bulgarian, you're gonna put one leg on the bar up here, and then you're gonna basically squat with the other leg. That's the basic principle. That's better. Breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law. Gotta get balance. Those are Bulgarians, and they hurt. Oh, breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law. Ha! Oh yeah, that's burning. Let's stick to that. Hey, Taylor J, good to see you.
Did y'all win your bowl game? A&M didn't. Our third string quarterback broke his arm on the first play. So, generally speaking, I said this earlier, when you have to evaluate a game based on the performance of your fourth string quarterback, things did not go according to plan. And that more or less sums up the season for A&M. Fuck you, Jimbo Fisher. I don't know where you are right now, but I hope someone drops a flaming bag of dog shit at his doorstep every single day for the next 10 years. Breaking the law. All right, come on. Whoa, balance. Come on, 3 more. Yo, Taylor, I don't know if you're here for this, but I might be moving west in 2024. Won't be in California, but I'll be further west if things go the way I expect them to. There's a chance I stay here, but right now it's looking likely the job is going to be at either Bremerton, Washington, or Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. So that'll be fun. We got 2 more sets of that to do. Well, potentially. So, Bremerton is a small port town just across the Puget Sound from Seattle. So, I would call that the West Coast, although most people don't know where Bremerton is. But there's a fair, it's a 1-hour ferry ride from Bremerton to Pioneer Square in Seattle. And then Hawaii's, well, that's not really West Coast. It's kind of more middle of the Pacific, I guess. I mean, I suppose Hawaii does have a West Coast, but, you know. Now, right now, I would say the odds are in favor of Bremerton. I've been given 2 offers, so they're both at naval shipyards. The first one, the Bremerton offer right now, they offered me more to start, so they've got the lead. Not to mention Washington has lower cost of living. Granted, it's still not great, but it's lower than Hawaii for sure, and no state income tax. So there's a heavy financial incentive to choose Puget right now over Pearl Harbor. But on the other hand, I'm a beach bum, and Hawaii's probably got the best beaches in the world. A literal archipelago in the middle of the Pacific. So, I'm conflicted. My brain says Washington, my heart says Hawaii. Now, there is a chance that neither of those comes through for some random security processing reason. Those things do happen. I doubt that's the case. But if something goes haywire, I stay here in South Carolina. No harm, nothing ventured, nothing gained. That would be a move. If you guys want to ask me more about this, there is, and Taylor Jade, you weren't here when I said this earlier, so I'm going to repeat it. I'm doing a Truth or Drink stream on my Discord channel as a present to the community tonight, where you guys can ask me questions, anything you want, literally anything you want. And I either have to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, or I have to take a drink. So that ought to be pretty entertaining. All right, we got two more sets of. We've got two more sets of Bulgarians, then 4 sets of lunges, and then we've got. I'll do some abs. So that's how we're going to do today. Oh, and then tomorrow, for those of you who like my RuneScape content, I'm going to be having a 99 party because I have 270 experience left until 99 smithing, which is basically nothing. I can achieve that in 30 seconds. So, I thought you were from Texas. So, I hate the question, where are you from? The reasoning being that College Station, Texas, where I went to college, is the longest I've lived anywhere by a fairly decent margin. I lived there for 4 years. I've lived a plurality of my years in Texas. In other words, I've spent more time in Texas than in any other one location, but it's been different places within Texas. And if you add it up, 4 years in Texas, or 4 years at College Station, plus 3 and change years in Greenville, plus 2 years in San Angelo, so that's 4 plus 3 plus 2 is 9 total. Just about 9 total years in Texas. So even then, I still haven't spent a decade in more than one state. And to be honest, we are turning up tonight. That is correct. Taylor Jade, come join the Discord. I'm surprised you're not there, to be honest. I don't want to pry just that you're from Texas because of stuff you wear. Well, so I consider myself a Texan. No, by all means, pry. It's okay. That's what the fun of this channel is. I consider myself Texan, but at the same time, many people would also say, no, you're not a Texan, you weren't born here. I do consider myself a native Southerner because I was born in Southern Virginia, the part of Virginia that's definitely still the South. And I was born to a military family, so we just moved around all the time. So there's not much I can really do about that. I guess I should have shaved this morning. I got like stubble. Oh well. It's Saturday. What the fuck am I doing anyway? Doesn't matter. Yeah, so I would call myself a Texan. Depending on which Texan you're talking to, they would agree or disagree. I think in general, most Texans are pretty chill with military people. It's kind of one of the really big industries and supporters of the Texas economy is Department of Defense, so usually works out pretty well. Yeah. No, but in general, it's shocking actually just how much of the modern day military gets its staff, gets its servicemen and servicewomen from the South. I mean, this in terms of per capita, I think the two states that give the most are North Carolina and Georgia, with South Carolina, Tennessee, and Alabama not that far behind. Virginia, of course, being very high up there as well, and of course Texas too. Is clean shave a job requirement? Or you're just like manscaping. Clean shave isn't a job requirement. I just shaved off the mustache because I felt like it was time. Keeping the mohawk, but not keeping the mustache. That's kind of the plan right now. I'm just not shaving today because it's Saturday. Why? I'm not going into work. Why would I need to shave? I'm straight California love. Always been to, but I've been to every state except Alaska. Fam, you gotta go. Alaska's gorgeous. Highly recommend an Alaska trip at some point. Just don't go in the winter because it's just really, really dark and sad. Otherwise, Alaska's fantastic. Oh. I don't consider this a proper job. This is a hobby. If this ever starts feeling like a job, I'll stop doing it. I don't need a second job. I do this because it's fun and because I like helping people. All right. Here we go. All right. 3 sets down, 1 to go. On Bulgarians, and then we got lunges. Full training shit's the way to go. I didn't believe you said you're himbo inclined, but now I do. Oh yeah, definitely. To be fair, the blood is not really flowing up here right now. The blood's kind of busy flowing below the belt line. And no, not there, smartasses, to my legs. Father-in-law's trying to take me to Antarctica. I know this is gonna sound like peak soy boy energy, but I'm not sure tourism to Antarctica is a good idea. I think it's best that humanity, apart from very limited research, leave Antarctica alone. You're better off going to Alaska. Plus, that actually supports the American economy instead of supporting, I don't know who. That's just my opinion, though. I think humanity's best left leaving Antarctica untouched for the next few centuries. If we must start settling the final continent, I believe it should go, maybe this is a warped sense of justice, but I believe the people who should have first rights to the continent should be the Maldives, should be Micronesia, should be Marshall Islands, should be Samoa, Tuvalu, Vanuatu, all those small island nations that are sinking into the ocean. So I think if climate change is going to make Antarctica more habitable, the first people who should be allowed to settle there are the ones that climate change is making their lands completely uninhabitable. Bangladesh would probably be the first non-island nation I would consider allowing colonize Antarctica. They have flags where you can't walk by the penguins. They fine you in jail time. Good. But even so, like, it's going to take a ship running on heavy bunker oil to get down to Antarctica, or an airplane flying through some pretty nasty winds, and that's inevitably going to do damage to the local environment down there, especially if it's a ship. So the ship's going to be polluting the water, and that water pollution often becomes sea ice, and if it's been adulterated with pollutants, which, yeah, heavy bunker oil is extremely bad for the environment, but that's a concern. I think personally it would be best. Yeah, I think it would be best if we left Antarctica alone. Just my opinion. I can understand why people would want to turn that into a new frontier for business, but I think if you want the novelty of an extremely cold, extremely remote location, and you're an American, you still have Alaska. It's right there. Hell, if you don't even want to go up to Alaska, go to North Dakota. It's almost as cold. And North Dakota could definitely use the tourist income. Or Montana, or, well, okay, maybe not Montana. They kind of don't like Californians there. An electric boat he was on, definitely should leave it be for sure. Interesting. I didn't realize they had electric boats yet. I feel like you would need a massive battery. A battery so large it would make operating fairly difficult. Not to mention you need to thermally insulate it in water temperatures that cold because it would lose a lot of power very quickly if subjected to those kinds of cold temperatures. Batteries do not like cold temperatures. Frankly, yeah, the correct answer for huge ships like that are small nuclear reactors, but we can dream on about that, unfortunately. Fargo's a great Walmart scene. No, but like if you want a cosmopolitan city to visit in winter and enjoy and have fun, honestly, there are worse places to go than Minneapolis or even Green Bay. Plus, the people in the Midwest are extremely friendly. I mean, if you like cold and snow, you'll get plenty of it in Wisconsin and Minnesota. Michigan, too. Come on, last set. Peace. All right, done there. Now we got lunges. Oh. Excuse me. Oh, that went down my windpipe. Excuse me. That was unpleasant. All right. For lunges, because I don't really like relying on these cheap Walmart knockoff chucks more than I must, I'm going barefoot. Ooh, that's nippy. I live near North Dakota. Place is beautiful. Only go for the American-sized Walmart products. Are you Canadian? That sounds like a suspiciously Canadian comment right there. That sounds a bit smug. Yep. That sounds just smug enough to be Canadian. These are hybrid system sand use solar hydro alongside. So no, that's interesting. I would think if you were doing, well, I guess if you were doing an Antarctic cruise at this time of year, you would have enough sun to where it would make sense. That's interesting. Well, that's good. Anything that gets the world off of heavy bunker oil, that stuff's so bad for marine life. Part of the reason the U.S. Navy is looking to hire me, actually, it's because, right, the U.S. Navy figured that out in the 60s. Not to mention, giant diesel engines put out a lot of noise, which means they're a lot more easy to detect from enemy ships, which is why they have nuclear-powered submarines and aircraft carriers. And for nuclear-powered submarines and aircraft carriers, they need engineers, which is where I come in. Go figure, we had this combo last stream, I'm Canadian. Okay, that's on me, my apologies, but in my defense, the blood no flow up here. The blood's busy trying to make sure my knees don't give out. All right, let's go with, I mean, that comment right there, that is, tell me you're Canadian without telling me you're Canadian. That's true, I remember now, yeah, you're from Manitoba. All right, let's go with, that'll work. You're all good. Now it's up. You get it. I mean, do the best you can. All right, we got 4 sets of this. We go for sets of 12. Come on, it's 9. One down, 3 to go. With your faith, oh Peter Pan advice. Hey Taylor Jade, you still in here? Because this is important. I actually have some friends in the Los Angeles area, and if I end up moving west, what I'm gonna probably do is try and see as many friends as I can between here and my destination. Now, if I choose Hawaii or Washington, it's still going to be the same path because I have my mom who lives up near Tacoma. And if I wish to ship goods out to Hawaii, I'm going to minimize what I have to ship, of course, but it'll probably have to be some sort of small container. To do that, I'm probably going to ship from the port of Tacoma. So instead of taking the most direct route, which would be from here to Georgia, to Tennessee, through Chattanooga, to Kentucky, to Illinois, to Missouri, to Nebraska, to Wyoming, to Idaho, to Oregon, to Washington. Instead, what I'm going to do is stay through the South, because I've got lots of friends I'd love to see in Houston, College Station, and Dallas. Check out the Southwest, meet a few friends in LA, see a couple friends in the Central Valley, and then head north. So it may well be that I'm going to be in the LA metro area if you want to hang out at some point in the spring. I would assume, by the way, if this move does happen, and it's all still a lot of ifs right now, I would not expect it to occur any sooner than the middle to end of March. I would expect April, May, June being a little bit more likely, just because I know how processing goes. It can be very slow, and my 401k isn't fully vested until March 1st anyway, so I'm not moving until then. At this point, we're already at the new year, so for me to get through security clearance processing, it's going to take 2 months at a minimum. So that's all good. In other words, if you want to hang out, you may have the opportunity. Poor Winter Raven. Actually, I would love to go through Michigan and the upper Midwest, but I don't want to do that in March because it's still cold as hell up there. I actually have not been to Michigan, Minnesota, or North Dakota, and I'd love to get those 3 checked off at this point, but still, no. Hard pass on doing that in March. If I'm coming up there, it'll be in the summertime. I would much rather go through Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California. I didn't say anything. I know. But I feel like, I don't know, I love meeting people in chat in real life. I always think it's fun. I've had nothing but positive success stories, and fun times to talk with people. So, but sometimes because of where I live, it's kind of hard to normally do. Very few people seem to live near me, but is what it is. All right, let's get our second set of lunges done. Two. 6, 7, 8, 10, 2 sets. 2 down, 2 to go. Thank you. Don't need to do a workout, just chill. Oh, I'll be jonesing for any workout. I'll absolutely jones for a trip to the beach too. I'm such a beach bum. Now, I'm gonna be looking fat then, in all likelihood, because I'm gonna continue my bulk all the way to 235, almost 240. I wanna try putting up a 500-pound dead. PR is 455. I think I got more in me. I always kind of go conservative on deads. If it doesn't come up easy, I don't do it. You're just more liable. You're more liable to hurt yourself on a max dead than you are on any other exercise, I think. It's just not worth risking it. But I think I got an extra 45 pounds in me for sure. But yeah, I'd love to do. Comedy shows are cool, and I'm sure LA gets the best of the best. But fam, a workout on the beach, count me the hell in. That sounds terrific. I got a buddy who lives in Venice, teaches surfing down there, so I'm gonna see him too, hopefully. He's pretty great. Now I got a couple friends in LA I want to see, and then a really good friend in Stockton that I want to see. There's 1 or 2 folks in the Bay Area I wouldn't mind seeing too, but I'm not sure I want to descend into the hellhole that is San Francisco. I'm not feeling like Dante right now. I don't want to delve into that circle of hell. It just wouldn't be one of my streams if I didn't take a pot shot at San Francisco at least once. It's funny, I'm literally making a Twitch friend this evening. They're coming to my house. Well, fuck. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't mind. All right, let's do the other side. Third set. Come on, strong like bull. You got this. But here you are, 2 men out and 3 men on nowhere to look but inside. I'll respond to. Four. Oh, come on. 5. 6. 8. Come on. 4. Come on. Ah. Woo, one more, baby. I've already got a Venice workout. Oh. Be still, my heart. I don't deserve to work. I don't deserve to work out in that location of legends. I'm not worthy of going to Muscle Beach. No. I don't belong in the same zip code as those legends, the guys who work out there. Even the natty ones are far, far better than I ever am. Although perhaps it's exactly why I should go. I'd take my notebook. I'd be taking notes just as intensely as I'd be trying to work out. Shoot, that'd be amazing. Count me the hell in. That sounds so fucking fire. Stop making me want to move to Los Angeles, damn it. I don't think I got what it takes to hack it at Muscle Beach yet. I'd love to think so, but the fact that you'd even suggest that is, it's a powerful compliment. So genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. It's that Arnold randomly goes by. Want to spot me one day when people don't take pics. I would just love to shake his hand and just say thank you. One of the books I read this year was his 1981 bodybuilding book, and it still holds up so extremely well. I would love to ask him how he feels about 20 rep super squats. I guarantee he's done them. I guarantee you the Austrian Oak has done those at some point. I want to see what he says. I would love to know. Funny enough, a long, long time ago when I was a kid, I lived in California for a year when Arnold was governor. Or should I say governator? Now that would be amazing. If I could, Arnold's something of a hero to me, to be honest. I know a lot of people say, oh, he wasn't very good at running California. Ignoring that for a moment, the man immigrated more or less penniless from Austria, built himself up into a muscle building legend and icon, then managed to become a movie star when nobody thought a muscle bound meathead could ever do that. Between him and Stallone, they completely pioneered the idea that that was even possible. So I really like Arnold. The Governator. Dude, if I could... You know what I love about Arnold? Man could be driving around in anything, but most of the time he bikes where he wants to go. Absolute king shit. Alright, let's go. Put that cookie down! Now! Here we go. Last set. Come on. Whoa, bounce, 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 bounce. 5, 6, 7. Come on. That's it. Let's go. Holy shit, we're done. All right, now we got abs. You're a beast. I'll get on the sand giving the pull-ups. People with deaf stop. Oh, you're flattering. Truth is, my pull-ups suck right now. It's the one workout where you get stronger when you cut because you have to pull less weight. Right now, my pull-ups are trash, dog. Cool little chick next to him, like, yeah, what's up? Duh, I know him. See, what I do is I put on real thick Southern accent. I make damn sure people know I'm from Dixieland. Because that way, anyone who tries to say, yeah, I know him, we're friends on Insta, instantly gonna be looking like a fraud. Because one, I ain't do any of that social media. And two, they hear that accent, they're like, who the fuck is this dude? Oh, all right. Let's do some jackknives. Oh. Oh. 51. Ah. Ah. Come on. Russian twist. Fuck. I lost my balance. Yeah. I just want to fucking puke. Southern accent's an attention magnet. Speak for yourself. Must be when you exit the South. Nah, I actually started. The truth is, I don't really have to put it on. For me, my accent's a bit of a chameleon type deal where around people, my accent changes. Around here, mostly around Southerners. And so, get talking like this, start talking about mudding, hunting, start talking about Clemson and the Gamecocks, or about football. Comes out when it needs to, all natural. Something like that. I mean, I think you can tell I got a Southern accent, it just ain't quite, it's not super thick unless I'm talking with other Southerners. I notice it too. It happens. Pretty good though. Alright. So you got 3 more sets of abs to do. And then I got a D-rack. Do that next. Oh, I mean, that would be something of a dream come true for me to go to Muscle Beach, but Taylor, you really think you think I'd be anything more than a sad little sideshow compared to some of the fucking Greek gods come to earth that go to there. I mean, that is, Muscle Beach is hallowed bodybuilding ground. I don't think I'm worthy. I promise I'm not trying to like nag myself. I've seen some of the dudes who put up there. Like I've watched them on YouTube. I'd be too busy taking notes. I'd be like, I'd be wondering, so I feel like I'm the most annoying person there. I'd straight up be asking like, dude, why are you doing that? And is it responsible for why you look amazing? Honestly, as someone who's into fitness, Muscle Beach, that's not quite a holy pilgrimage, but ab muscles burn just watching you do this. That's, no reason you do it with me. Yeah, it's warm in here now though. It's 51, feels great. That's kind of a fun one to show people here. Glare ain't great. See if we can focus in. There it is. Yeah. Hey Phoenix, good to see you. Yes. It's warm in here now though. Feels terrific. But that'd be a first actually, Taylor. There's a meme I've posted on my server. But I have not, I don't think I've ever received much in the way of female attention for doing anything in the gym. And part of that's because there has not been a gym that I have been at where there's been much of a female presence since about 2017. So that might be part of the reason why. I work on a federal nuclear site. As it turns out, most people who are there are male. Most women don't want to do those jobs. As it turns out, nuclear welder is not something most women are interested in. It's a shame because in general, women are often make some of the best welders. They tend to have steadier hands. A walking thirst trap and smart win-win. I'm not sure if smart's a win-win in LA. Had to throw a barb your way at least once. All right, let's do V crunches. I appreciate that. Maybe that's what I need to do to get some attention there. I'll walk around, I'll start working out, but I'll walk around with a sign that says Save Diablo Canyon. That'll endear me. Does that last crunch variation have a name? I call them V crunches because you're kind of making a V at the hips. I guess since my knees are bent, you could kind of call it like a W crunch. Or more like I don't know. I don't know what you call them. I call them V crunches. So do with that what you will. We got bicycles and raised leg sit-ups next. Morning, Bolofofo. I'm doing pretty good, Phoenix. It's been a pretty good workout. Rep 315, 320 on squat. It's pretty decent considering I'm now Z crunch. That might be it. That's probably a better way to do it. Z crunch, not V crunch. Smart. like baby crunches. I don't know what a baby crunch is. I don't know. All I know is it makes my ab feel burny when, like, my abs all burn when I do them. So clearly something's working there. All right. Raise leg sit-ups. Oh, 22 more, come on. Shifted. Oh. You're teasing? That's fair. Hard to detect sarcasm. Oh God, come on. Fuck. Get 28 more. Oh, okay. My abs are shot. Oh, yo, we have a CC raid, Swole CC. How you doing, girl? Welcome on in. Raiders. For those of you, all right, I'm sorry, I gotta get water. For those of you who don't know who I am, welcome. My name is BullMuscle. I'm a fellow fitness and health streamer. I lift weights. Today we did squat day. We just finished our abs. So we're chilling now. We're hanging out. Thank you so much for the raid. Y'all, please, for my existing followers, give Swole CC. I'm gonna give our friend Swole CC a shout out here. Absolutely go follow Swole CC. Tons and tons of great advice there. Strongly recommend it. So, a little bit more about me right now. I'm running the Alex Bromley 70s powerlifter routine. Today we did the 4x8, so that's second wave of the second week of the second wave. We did 4x8 on squat at 315 to 320. Wide squat, we did 3x8 at 240. Front squat, we did 2x8 at 200, 205. Then we did lunges, Bulgarians, we did Raider pulls, pullovers, and abs. So that's, oh, and calves too, because why not? As you can tell, I'm not exactly as cut as I was a few months ago. The reason for that is on the bulk cycle. The goal is right now, so I started about 205 mid-November. Obviously Christmas has put on a little bit of LBs that I was really hoping would be muscle, but not so much. The goal is to be at about 235 to 240 by the end of February, and I would really like to be able to deadlift 500 by that point. That's going to be my big goal. PR is 455 right now. I think I've got a 500-pound deadlift in me. I just got to keep bulking, putting on mass, so that's the goal. How tall? I'm 6'3". So I feel like I carry 220 pretty well. What I want to do is get to the level of leanness I was at 205, but have the muscle to be at 220, 225. That's going to take multiple years if I can ever quite get there, but that's the goal. So that's where I'm at right now. Am I natty? Yes, I have to be for my job. For those of you who don't know, I'm a nuclear engineer by day. That's my day job, and that's why there aren't that many ads on this stream. I get paid pretty well. I do this because it's fun. If you throw a sub my way, I'm always appreciative. If you throw a tip my way, it's always appreciative. You can always use the exclamation mark tip to get to that, but it's never, ever, ever demanded and never, ever, ever expected. I'm very, very grateful just for any of y'all who stick around, for those of you who want to watch, for those of you who want to talk. Beast and X, thank you very much for continuing to talk, hanging out. A couple other things about me. I am going to be financially independent before I turn 30. That means I could retire as early as age 29. Now, whether or not I will is a different story, but I have the ability to say fuck you to my employer if I wish to, and that's an extremely powerful thing to have. I strongly encourage people to do what I've done, which is save north of 60, 70, even in this year for me, 80% of my income, because if you do that, you very rapidly gain freedom over your life. You gain the ability to choose what it is you want to do every day, wake up. If you don't want to work, you don't have to. If you do want to work, you can. And that's so fucking valuable. I'm a huge, huge fan of the financial independence movement. I'm an advocate for it. I currently practice that lifestyle, and I'm very happy. Wish I'd done that. There's no reason you can't. Hey, the best day to start was yesterday. Second best time to start is right fucking now. So if you got questions, this is a great time to ask. As for the workout, I'm afraid we already did everything. But that doesn't mean the stream is over, although I'll probably look to rate someone in the next half hour or so. But in that time, this is a great time to ask me questions. Any questions y'all have about diet, about fitness, about anything else. For those of you who are really curious and want to ask me a few more questions that might be ones Twitch wouldn't be a fan of, I'm actually doing a Truth or Drink stream on my Discord channel tonight. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Highly recommend checking out the Discord. Go give that a look-see. In that, the way it's going to work is you can ask me any question you want, any question at all, and I either have to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, or I got to take a drink. So that'll be a lot of fun tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be doing a rest day. I'm going to be gaming, and for those of you who are interested in old school RuneScape, that's a classic childhood game of mine, and it's my fun rest day content. Tomorrow, I am having my 99 party to celebrate the end of the year. It's been a banner year for me on this channel. It's been a banner year for me in my personal life. Basically, everything that I've reasonably hoped could happen could. Oh my God, really? It is literally December 30th. I'm still getting mosquitoes in my fucking garage. This is the one thing I hate about South Carolina. The mosquitoes are relentless here. They do not quit on the coldest days of the year. They're still fucking in here and it drives me bonkers. Anyway. So if you guys are into old school RuneScape and you want to, ball out on a 99 party tomorrow, definitely join in for that. We're going to get my 99 Smithy Cave and we'll probably have a drop party, do all sorts of fun stuff. Maybe go out into the wilderness and just do random nonsense. Do you find doing crunches on the bench more comfortable for your back? Rip Mosquito, thanks for the first time chat, Green Purple Z. Do you find doing crunches on the bench more comfortable for your back than on the floor? It's about the same. The difference is if I do it on the bench, my back gets a whole lot less dirty. Here's proof, right? My back looks like this, right? Pretty good. Because I've been doing lunges, all sorts of other stuff, barefoot, my feet look like this. Less good. So, that's, hopefully that explains that one. So, in the meantime, I'm actually going to use the bathroom real quick here. So actually, for this, I'm going to put my shoes back on. And then I will answer, we'll do a little Q&A. You guys can redeem channel points to make me do different things, bounce my packs, flex, all that sort of stuff. And I will answer, and then if we got nothing, we'll probably look to raid. The same line of thinking. Yeah, it's less about being more comfortable. Comfort's irrelevant. Being able to get the work in and not be absolutely filthy afterwards is kind of more the goal. Hey, Talio, good to see you, as always. So, if you guys want all that sort of content, let me know. And again, thank you so much to Swole CC for bringing her stream over here. I promise to take good care of them. Y'all, if you've not given Swole CC a follow, please do so. She's pretty fucking great. Now, honestly, it's one of the things people like her, Lesbian Hot Sauce, Joe Workouts, Limitless Fitness are dispelling the myth that women have to only be lifting very heavy or very light weight for loads and loads of reps called toning. Toning is bullshit, it's a myth. And frankly, most of the time, it's women repeating that myth to themselves, keeping themselves down. So much credit to people like Swole CC, much credit to people who are advocating for women to take weightlifting a bit more seriously, because things like osteo diseases, right, bone diseases, often disproportionately affect women, and weightlifting has been proven to prevent a lot of that degeneration. So they are helping women's health by advocating for a more sensical form of weightlifting instead of doing 1,000,000 reps with a 5-pound dumbbell. So really, really respect that. Definitely a lot of strong female voices worth listening to in the Twitch fitness and health community, and I, for one, love that. Anyway, I'm going to take just a quick leak. Post your questions and such in chat, and I will be back in like 30 seconds, y'all. It's my property. I can pee where I want. Gotta love living in the rural sticks. I can pee in my backyard anytime I fucking want. I've heard them referred to as muscle mommies by some guys at my local gym. Yeah, I think that's the new term for them. I'm gonna go with women who have their head screwed on straight instead. Just because the implication there is that they're all looking to be mothers, which, I mean, Limitless Fitness, for instance, she is a mother, and she has certainly got a fair amount of muscle on her. But I don't know, I feel like that is somewhat exclusionary to women who don't have that desire to be parents. But I know it's a term of endearment, so I don't think it's meant with any ill intent. But yeah, frankly, as someone who swings more than one way, as far as the women's side of the thing, I'm definitely attracted to athletic builds, definitely attracted to a little bit of muscle, regardless of gender. So definitely, I love to see it for selfish reasons too. I think it has a more sexual connotation to it if you refer to women like that. I'm gonna be real. I've never understood the term, using the term mommy or daddy in a sexual way. People call me daddy all the time, and like, I tolerate it, I don't hate it, but it's definitely like a bit strange. I get that it's not, I'm not your actual dad, but it's just, it doesn't quite sit right with me. It's like, I don't know, I don't consider, if someone calls me daddy, like, that's not a turn on. Like, not for me. That's just a personal preference, though. It doesn't have to be. We don't all have to see alike. Listen to. Let's go. The Who. We're not going to take it. I love that song. But yeah, I don't think it's necessary. Let's see. And if it's in Spanish, like Papi. Yes, Sole Guacamole TV. Thank you very much for the first time chat. I love guacamole, but it's high in fat, so I have to be careful with how much I eat. Although right now in bulk cycle I could. I got gifted so many like cookies and candy and cakes and stuff over the holidays. It's just tough. But yeah, today we're looking pretty good. Got worked glutes, lower back a little bit by default. Hamstrings really hard and really hit quads quite well. So we can take a look at here. All right, so see if you get the lighting on it. So that's pretty good. The crease here, that's pretty new. The two creases down here are pretty standard. The definition isn't quite where it was like a month and a half ago, but it's getting better. So that's sort of the goal. I'm looking to get stronger. I want to see your calf workouts. Okay, yeah, well, so really I just do calf raises. I usually just superset calves with whatever weight I happen to be squatting with. Usually I'll put a plate down, so like, here, I'll explain. So, like, for instance, just take this 25-pound plate, right? There we go. So you see, right? And normally I'll have two plates, so it'll be a little bit wider stance. You get the idea. But we're gonna come up. And I forget who it was who told me to do this, but when you have a plate and you put the balls of your feet on the plate, it expands by an extra inch to 2 inches. The range of motion for your calves gives you a better workout. There we go. Security, because my calves have clefts. How many years do I train for? That's a good question. I have been working out in some form or another for about 15 years. I started working out in 2008 primarily for football because I was in middle school and then high school. Now, I did not train consistently really until the more recent years. Started taking my diet more seriously in 2022. My cuts worked really well this year. If you go back and watch my videos, they're on YouTube. I save all my VODs to YouTube. If you go back and look at my stuff from October, November, you can see how well defined I am, especially in the midsection. So I started taking my diet seriously in 2022. I was at 230 then, cut down to about 199, 200, then bulked up to 225 in the first part of 2023, cut back down to 205. Now I'm going to try and bulk to 235, 240, and then try to, ideally cut back down to 210-ish. So that's sort of the, slowly work our way up to about 225, and then once you get to 225 at a certain level of leanness, that's it for me. I think that'll be pretty close to my natty ceiling, and I'm not sure how much further I'll go from there. But that's going to take me several more years. I don't think 2024 is going to have me get to where I want to be, but I think it'll be closer in 2024 than I ever have been before. I think it'll probably be 2025, 2026 before I'm looking to get where I want to be. A couple other things I do, for those of you who are interested. I love this part of the song. Listen to The Who, by the way. See me, feel me, touch me, heal me. Anyway, I write down everything I eat and everything I do, lifting-wise, in a notebook. I really appreciate the idea as pencil and paper is concerned, because it helps you memorize things better. And for me, because I work in a limited area, I don't have cell phone access during the day, so I have to be able to write down what I eat for lunch. So I believe there's a cap when it comes to muscle growth as a natty. Yes, there is a natty ceiling for pretty much everyone. However, very few people ever get there. I get the music gazing at you. I get the heat. I love The Who. Following you. I climb the mountain. I get excitement at your feet. What do you plan to do once you reach your goal? It's going to take years, and I'm not sure I'll actually ever get there. Once I do, it's going to be pretty much a recomp kind of maintenance thing. At that point, I'm thinking my total BSD will be around 1,300 to 1,400. I'll have a deadlift over 500. I'll have a bench over 350. I'll have a squat well into the 400s, and I'm happy with that. be able to, it'd be nice to rep 315 for bench. It'd be nice to rep squat for 405. And it'd be nice to rep deadlift for, 450 to 475. I'm an idiot about taking notes. I train randomly. Well, you're limiting your success. What gets recorded gets improved because you have a track record of, okay, I did this last time. Instead of relying on your brain, and if your memory's like mine, it's unreliable to do all the thinking for you. So I strongly recommend, I mean, there are apps too if you're more technologically minded, but this also helps lower your amount of screen time per day, and I find that to be extremely useful. So huge fan of pencil and paper. It's old-fashioned, but it works. Look, people have been taking notes and having notebooks for pretty much since time immemorial, and there's a reason. Look, we've only had cell phones for 15, 20 years. One's going to be a lot more effective than the other. Your body has a natural limit, so you can overcome it by refining what's already there. Okay, so in my mind, there's always some kind of goal during your fitness journey. That's true. And maybe when I get to that point, if I ever get to that point, I'll reevaluate then. I don't know what that would be. As far as natty limits are concerned, so now this is a bit of a broad generalization, and I don't know a ton about gear and steroids, so I'm only talking about what I do know, which is very limited. To the extent of my knowledge, the way most steroids work is that they aid in the way you recover and rebuild muscle after a workout. In other words, typically when you go on steroids, you feel less sore, which means you can drastically increase the intensity of your workout and therefore grow more muscle. There is a limit to how quickly you can recover when natty, and if you're doing that, you're not going to be able to, if you do that, you're not going to be able to lift at the same level of intensity or progression that you are taking steroids. That's the thing. This 70s powerlifter program that I'm doing with Bromley has talked about using before, and obviously a lot of the powerlifters that he's referring to, in this program, Roger Estep, Bill Kazmaier, guys like that, even Arnold to an extent, guys like that, they were taking fucking rocket fuel. But you can still learn from the way they did things. And the reason I prefer powerlifters from the 60s and the 70s and the 80s is that in those days, it was a lot less, okay, you're going to be doing a shit ton of triples and that's it, or singles or doubles, and more, there's still a lot of focus on volume, a lot of focus on bodybuilding, which is good because I'm not training just to make number go bigger. If I did that, I'd want to look like I had a fucking beer belly. There's a reason you go and see the strongmen, the guys who really truly put up superhuman numbers on bench press, on squat, on deadlift. They look like fucking, they look like middle-aged dudes who have a beer belly. They're just built like brick shithouses. The reason for that is to put up increased numbers in strength, you have to be running at some level a caloric surplus. If you run caloric deficits necessary to get that, that ripped, shredded look that a lot of people want, you are going to see much slower gains, and sometimes you'll even see losses in strength. Your goal when cutting is to maximize your protein content to minimize those losses, but it's tough. It's really tough. The real question is, are you after a sculpted build or a competing build? In general, I would say, so there's a balance between each. I'm never ever looking, I would say neither. I would say I bias towards the sculpted side because aesthetic is a big, it's a confidence booster. When you get in the, you look in the mirror and say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's fucking confident. And it just, having that as something as a flex is fantastic. So I prefer that end of it, but at the same time, I'm not looking to be one of those guys that has no visible body fat and looks like, is vascular in places that most people would think are kind of strange to be vascular in. Plus, below a certain body fat percentage, you just start to feel like shit, and I like feeling good. That's the thing. On the bulk cycle, you feel amazing and look like shit. On the cut cycle, you look amazing and feel like shit. So for me, I'm going to kind of, once I get to a certain point, and that point to me is around 12% body fat, I don't really see a need to cut much further. So I've been training for 2 years, being 6 feet 1 inches. I'm struggling to get fullness. I don't want to take the juice though. What do you mean by fullness? Like, what do you, right, so where are you at? This is, you have to make it quantifiable. Where, fullness it's a vague term. Where are you at and where do you want to be? Those are the two questions. And you have to tune your diet and your workout regimen to be aligned with where you're at and where you want to be. So I think that's probably the biggest mistake people make in trying to get shredded and trying to get in good shape. I work out to stay fit and looking fit is secondary, pretty much. For me, it's to an extent, it's functional fitness, but there's something primal about make big number go up. That's why people like deadlifts. Deadlift is most people's strongest workout for a reason. Thicker back, full chest, definition is easy, I think. Okay, so if you're looking for thicker back and a full chest, you're looking to put on muscle in those two departments. So if you are below 20% body fat, it may mean that it's time for you to, throw on a bulk for a month or two. If you are 25, 30% body fat, you probably still have some cutting to do before you should start that. A great aesthetic physique can be achieved naturally with good technique, progressive overload, and diet. Some people neglect one or more of those and hop on gear instead. Fitness influencers give a very distorted picture of what looks good. So low traveler, I would say that's largely correct. Some people do neglect one or more of those and hop on gear. However, not everyone who hops on gear is neglecting something. You're also missing one thing in that comment, and that's adequate sleep, which is my biggest demon. Getting good sleep 100% makes a huge difference in your ability to gain muscle and in your ability to refuse bad, junk food. So strongly recommend, trying to isolate yourself from electronics and blue screens, as the evening goes along. Yeah, holy guacamole, if you need to bulk then, I would recommend starting at about 500 calories over what your TDEE is. That is your total daily energy expenditure. So figure out how many calories roughly you're burning every day and try to eat 500 calories more than that. You will put on some fat, but if you're doing it right in the gym, you're not loafing around, you're putting in hard work, you're going to see muscle gains. Because it does calisthenics, he's ripped. They feed Swiss guys super soldier serum. Well, again, I have no opinion, or I don't have any problem with people who take steroids. The only time I have problem with people who take steroids are the people who lie about it, because yes, that distorts. It distorts what is possible. Not even what looks good, but it's what looks possible. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. This is why I've said this for a while, right? You can be beautiful at any size. A lot of people like to say, oh, you can't be beautiful if you're obese. I'm sure there's someone out here, I'm sure there are people out there who think that is beautiful. But what you can't be is healthy at any size. There are, for instance, frankly, right, much in the same way that if you're 400 pounds, you're morbidly obese, and you can barely walk a tenth of a mile without getting winded, that's not healthy. But if you're on absolute fucking rocket fuel and you've got so much muscle that, you're on roid rage half the time, that's also not healthy. It's a balance. All natural calisthenics is like an acrobat. That's the other thing too. Fitness can be two very different things. Someone who runs marathons has incredible cardiovascular fitness, but is not particularly strong. Their cardiovascular system is, and they're very skinny most of the time. If you are, a marathon runner, your goal is to continue running for as long as possible, as fast as possible, while burning minimum energy. It's trying to be as efficient as possible. So that's going to be a lot of cardiovascular health, a lot of heart strength, a lot of lung capacity, a lot of good high VO2 max, but it's not going to be building extra muscle. So that extra muscle isn't going to help you. It's just added weight. Side effects of roids terrifying. It seems expensive to do them, very expensive to do them in a safer way, and it's still dangerous. Am I wrong? I don't know. I don't really know the difference between individual steroids. That is, I would say, beyond the wheelhouse. I think there is a safe way to use some steroids, but it certainly is expensive. That much goes without dispute. And for me, I'm not looking to spend the money on that. Not to mention, even if I wanted to, I couldn't because I get drug tested as a part of my job. But yeah, a lot of people, if you go too crazy with steroids, you're probably taking years off your life. Much in the same way that if you get really, really fat, you're taking years off your life. Now, a lot of guys who are, absolutely jacked and love the way they look, they'll say it's worth it. But that's really up to you. That's a personal preference. What I love about living in this country here in America is that you have the freedom to choose. If you want to balloon up to 400 pounds and die of a heart attack, that's your right. If you want to take shit tons of steroids and damage your internal organs that way, you have that right. That's freedom. That's what makes America great. But I don't necessarily think we should be socially encouraging that. And that is a bit of a problem in the fitness community right now. That we don't delineate between what is possible natty and what is possible on gear. So it's a balance. Now, I think we should be looking to raid someone pretty soon. I got a friend I got to meet up in Augusta at 1:30, so we need to figure out who we're gonna raid. All right, we raided Big Game Mikey yesterday, so I'm not gonna raid him today. Let's see. Jacob Lyle's doing Battlegrounds. Celti's doing Fitness and Health. Krulix is deciding who to raid. I might raid Celti. See you next year, Bull. Oh, all right. I mean, I'm going to be live tomorrow morning, just for what it's worth. C-Bum did a blood test for like 2,000 USD by some specialists. That's just one test. I'm sure he needs more often, say once a year. Yeah, that's the thing. My healthcare plan is don't get sick, pretty much. I have a high deductible healthcare plan. So if something catastrophic happens, I am insured. But I'm basically on my own for any other health expenses. So I don't see doctors. I try to do as little of that as possible. Who do we want to go with? Celti's doing cardio. That'll be a pretty good one. I think we'll go for that. Shush. There we go. So I'm going to be live tomorrow. It'll be at 9 a.m. We play an old school RuneScape. It'll be a rest stream. So I will also be live on New Year's Day. I don't normally stream on Mondays, but I have the day off. So I'm going to be doing a press day. So there's going to be a lot of shoulder press. Be working our shoulders, be working triceps. It'll be a good time. So until then, if you want more, please check out the Discord. Tonight is the Truth or Drink stream. So if you want to learn more, if you want to ask me anything, that's the time to do it. All right. We are going to, oh God, my legs are killing me. That's a good sign. We are going to go ahead and raid. I could raid Big Game Mikey. I did that yesterday though. I feel like you can't just raid the same person every single day. Although if I raid Big Game, I really want to get that guy to affiliate. If I do that, yeah, I'm gonna raid Big Game Mikey. I want to see. So Big Game Mikey's doing Python development, and he is very close. What he's trying to do is retrain skills so that way he can get a new job. So I think it's the right thing to do to raid him. I want to get this guy to affiliate so that way he can at least make a little bit of money while he's looking for a new job. So we're gonna raid Big Game Mikey. I want to see this guy get to affiliate. So we're gonna do that. It's gonna be what we do next. So thank you all very much for coming out for the Swole CC. Thank you for the raid. Everybody else, thank you very much for the follows. This has just been a fantastic year. I will be live again tomorrow, 9 a.m. once more, and I will be live again tonight on my Discord for the Truth or Drink stream. If you want to come in, check that out. If not, hey, don't worry about it. Until then, y'all, make good decisions. Those good decisions form your habits. Those habits form your values. Those values form an ethos to be the guide star through the rough waters of life. Much love, y'all. Come in for the hug. Raid message, by the way, is Bull Rush.